come and take your girl, give us back our money. She said she know they work. They beat that girl to stupor. They beat her to the point where I sat where I was and I told myself, I said it out, like, these people are not humans. Like, why? On seeing the way they beat that lady, I was like, so I will also come to this point where they will have to beat me to say, yes, I will do it. I said I would rather die. Because at the point when they beat her, she was like, okay, Mashe, I will do it, I will work, I will do it. I was like, so this is what I will go through. So for some reasons, I didn't know, they took the other 3 ladies out of where I was. It was now left with only me in that house that came together. So after a week, she then asked me that, what else can I do? I said, I cook. She was like, okay. She gave me pepper and oil. I said, go and make stew with it. I made the stew. She told them to teach me how to make banku. I made the banku. She was like, okay, not bad for a start. So first of all, your first job here is you're going to be cooking for everybody. My heart was like, okay, finally she has agreed to give me something else. So another week went by and she said, Orobo, I don't know where one day she just called me by that name and said, for her, that is what she will be calling me. Although she gave me another name, Success. So everybody calls me Success, but she calls me Orobo. And then she looked at me and said, Orobo, are you ready to work now? I was dumbfounded and I couldn't say anything. And in my head, I was like, if it is to die here, I think I'm ready to do that. But to use my body here, I will not. So 3 weeks went down. And all of these weeks, nobody even came in one day to say, this person, how she be, who she be, and all. So after the 3rd week, a man came in, a matured Nigerian man, a Yoruba man. He came in and did ask to take me home. And at first she refused, that she wasn't going to let him take me home, but he begged and all of that. So when we got home, he sat me down and said, I didn't bring you here to come and sleep with you. I brought you here to teach you one lesson that will help you if you must live where you are. He said he noticed the way I was being questioned, the way I was being bullied and all that. That is the way the woman does. And that I'm even still seeing the better side of her. That she's a really, really hard person. And when she's ready to go hard, she goes all the way. He said, you see where you are, there's no shortcut. There is no way out other than for you to actually make money, pay them before you leave. And if you are not even careful, you'll be done paying them, you will not know, you'll still be there playing a fool, working for them. So you have to be smart. I see that you are innocent, but then yet you are smart. So I need you to wake up that smart instinct in you and know what to do to live there as soon as possible. He said he was going to be going to Italy in 3 weeks. From that time, that was the reason why the woman refused to give me to him initially, because normally that is the way some men will come there, take girls and they run away with them and they don't eventually get their money. So he said, but he's going to teach me how to make it fast. That if I work with my body to pay them, they'll split that money in 2. But if I'm doing something extra to pay them, they would record the money just the way it is. Say, for example, I sleep with someone and the man pays me 5,000 naira. They're not recording 5,000 naira. They're recording 2,500. But if maybe I sell something or I save up money and I give them that same 5,000 naira cash at hand, they'll record the 5,000 naira for me. So the best for me is to think of something I can start doing to get extra money, which is begging. So when these guys come, I have to beg them for extra penny. Or if they ask for anything beyond what I'm supposed to give them, like in normal duty, then I should ask for extra cash. Those extra cash are the extra stipends I'm supposed to be saving up to give them. I cried my ass out that night. So he said, you see, she's even giving you grace. He said, it's because she likes you. That this woman, she's naturally not the patient type, and the moment you're proving hard, she'll go hard with you and you give up. So the earlier the better for you. But he felt that he should just reach out to me and teach me something that would help me. So I eventually spent 2 years and 9 months in Libya altogether. I spent a year and 8 months in the connection house, and that a year and 8 months was hell for me. So after 7 months, I tried reaching out. So at the point, they released a phone for the girls in the house to call their customers, to know when they're coming, to know if you're having someone who is coming to come and sleep with you over, or someone who is going to come and take you out and all. So I begged one of the girls in charge one day to allow me buy airtime on the phone to call. So I did call my dad, and my dad was really bitter, and he said the only way he knows I can get out of that place is for me to find my way to the Nigerian embassy and tell them that I want to come back home. So I waited for 3 days to actually get that report, because he didn't know what to do at that point. He said, okay, can I call you back? So I said, I don't know, but I'll try and talk to the person in charge of this phone so that whenever you call, they give me the call to answer, which was what actually happened. And somehow, I don't know how they got to know, but they found out that I called the Nigerian embassy, and they beat hell out of my life. They beat hell, everybody in the house. Plus, at that time, my burger wasn't in Libya. At that time, she was in Nigeria. It was the husband that was at home then. The husband beat me. All the girls in the house beat me. So I wanted to run away. Oh, I'm trying to be smart and this and that. After all, they knew that from the very first day I came, the woman was calling me a virus because she knows that I'm kind of smart. I will try to play smart. So from that time, they locked me out from phone. They stopped allowing me go out. It was I can't start recounting experiences, day-to-day activities, how I felt. At some point, I would just practically pray that, God, please, when I sleep this night, don't allow me to wake up in the morning. I slept very late, and I'm always the first to wake up. So after a while, I started gaining confidence, like, no, even if I foolishly allowed myself into this, I should be able to still bring myself out of it. So I changed my attitude and started being very smart. I called up as much information as I could. I got to, I became very nice. I always learned lessons, and, I was trying my possible best to see beyond the problem I was in and was already thinking of a way out. So I had a couple of guys who would just naturally like me, and they would tell me, you see, when you're ready to leave this place. Some guys went as far as asking, okay, madam, how much is this girl's money? Let's pay. She would intentionally double the money and make them run away. So when she did that the first time, the second time, I just knew that, okay, so this woman is actually being wicked. But not to worry, I'm actually still going to live here. So when it was about a year and 5 months, I sat down one day and calculated how much I had paid, minus all the subtraction. If you do anything, she'll beat you and subtract your money. Maybe 50 dinars, maybe 100. If you quarrel with anybody, maybe 200 dinars. If you fight, maybe 500 dinars and all. So by the time I calculated and I saw that the money I had gotten up to like 5,000 dinars, which was actually what that man told me. He said normally it's supposed to be 2,500 dinars, but burgers are always wicked. They want to collect even double of that. So sometimes you have to pay up to like 5,000 to 6,000 dinars before they will let you go. And some will still not let you go, except you fight for your freedom. So when I calculated, and I had calculated about 7,000 dinars, I was like, okay, I think my time here is up. And then I started asking for freedom. She initially refused and said that I was not done paying her. So I said, okay. So in 2016, when she was going to come to Nigeria in September, she gave me freedom in August. That was a year and 8 months. She said, okay, that now I am free to work for my own money. But whatever money you're working, the same way they were splitting in two, it's just that this other half now, instead of them collecting it, they'll give it to you. Sometimes they may not even give it to you. They'll tell you to keep it with them. Maybe you want to send some money to Nigeria. So I said, okay, no, that I didn't want to keep it with them, that I actually wanted to live there. She said, I cannot live there until she comes back. I have to wait for her to come back to Libya because she had a new child and she wanted to come home. I said, okay. So throughout that month, that September, I kept having dreams that if I don't leave that place, I probably might not have my life again. The dream came like about 5 to 6 times, and then I just summoned courage to open up to the husband, to tell him that I think I'm very sick and I want to go take care of myself. This is about a year and 9 months now. From the day one up until now, I worked every day and slept nothing more than 3 to 4 hours, that I needed to take care of myself. And he understood with me, because several times in between I had fallen sick, like so bad that at some point it took drips to like resuscitate me back and all. And the man also knew that I was very, very hardworking. Like at the point, he would always tell the wife, stop beating this girl. Like, you need to stop, even if you're beating every other person, but you see this one, stop beating her. And the next thing is, she will say, oh, okay, so now you're sleeping with my husband. My husband is fighting for you. This, that. I know you are hardworking, but you must be sleeping with my husband for him to be fighting me to stop beating you. And then she will intensify whatever thing she was doing. So, but I kept bearing them up. At that point, I made up my mind. So there's this Ghanaian guy who had already told me that whenever I'm ready, that he had an apartment he doesn't really stay in, that he goes to the village to work. Sometimes he doesn't come home 2-3 months, that he could give his space up for me to stay there, take care of myself. So when I did mention to him that I wanted to go and that I was sick, he did say, okay, that I should call the wife and tell her, which I did. And then she was like, so I cannot wait for her to come back. I told her that no, I can't wait, that I'm very, very sick and I needed to go take care of myself. She said, okay, I should hand over the account to the husband and I can leave, which I did. That was in October 2016. I did that in October 2016. In November, sorry, that was November 2016. I did that in November 2016. I had barely stayed a month in the new house where I was staying. I'd stayed a month and I was taking treatment, eating well and all that. And I heard she came back. She did actually call me to come and cook for her, but I refused going. And then on the 2nd of January in 2017, there was a massacre in the garage. The massacre was bloody. I think they were counting 300 bodies and they were still counting, as at the time we got the news. The bombing and from where I was, it's not so far a distance, it's a bit far. We could hear the bombs, we could hear the gunshots. Part of the things we face like every day, you don't sleep, like gunshots. There are some bombs that you practically feel like the house is going to be uprooted from the ground. There was a day that we were running and a stray bullet passed by my side, brushed my leg. Like, I don't know how I escaped. I don't know how I escaped, but you know, it was just God that was just protecting me all through. And at that point in January, when that massacre happened, like 6 girls in that house actually died. And for me, I felt, oh, this is God just saving me. I guess this is what God was talking to me about, when I kept seeing those dreams. And I made up my mind I was going to just go back home. 2 months out of there, I called a friend and told her that if there was a way she could help me find money, I needed to come back home. And she was the one that told me about the voluntary return, that I needed to find my way to the UN's office or whichever way and all that. So I remembered contacting the Nigerian embassy. So I did keep the number. So I then asked questions because I was now going to a church. I then asked questions and they said, okay, that I needed to get to the IOM office. I had challenges locating them in the first place, but eventually I got to the IOM office and then they gave me a date to come back to visit. I did drop all my information and then they said, okay, that in 2 weeks' time I should go to the Nigerian embassy to go get a travel document. And after getting a travel document, they will not let me know when to come back and I'll be ready to go to Nigeria. So that was all, and up until then I just kept managing, kept believing God that it was going to work well, and eventually it did work well, and that was how I came back to Nigeria August 28th in 2017. And for me, that was the best decision I could make. Though it was painful that I just went to suffer my life out for almost 3 years and no gain, nothing, and then I'm back, having to come back empty-handed. And up until today, both the travel agent, both the guy that introduced me to the travel agent and the lady, none of them has been found. And life hasn't been easy getting back to my feet. Like, I was in bad depression for like almost 2 years. It was really bad coming back to see that, okay, first of all, I have lost money, I have lost friends, I have lost business, and then having to resume my motherly duties almost immediately because children wouldn't hear, oh, I had a bad experience. And then having to reintegrate back into the community, it was really difficult. Like, it just took the grace of God, and it took my kind of strong personality to just keep resuscitating me, and I just kept believing that I'll definitely be who I really wanted to be. I didn't really need to think about the pain, but then the lesson can never be forgotten. The experience can never be forgotten. The trauma, the pain, and everything can never be forgotten. But then one thing can be done, which is moving ahead and making use of all the experiences. And then I did find answers to my quest as to why people did trafficking as a business. And I think that apart from poor economy, some people are just ignorant and they don't really care. They just can do anything just to make money.
The Nigerian political space is an interesting and evolving scene, especially as Nigeria continues to practice democracy. Over the years, many celebrities in the country have been appointed by their state governments as commissioners, special assistants, and advisors, while some have intentionally delved into politics with the plan of serving the people and pursuing a career in politics. Today, we will be highlighting 5 female Nigerian entertainers who have been in politics or are in politics. At the top of this list is Funke Akindele. In July 2022, popular Nollywood actress Olufunke Akindele was announced as the deputy governor candidate for the People's Democratic Party (PDP) for Lagos State in the coming 2023 elections. The Nollywood star, best known for her Jennifer character, will be running alongside Olajide Adediran, a journalist, entrepreneur, and philanthropist popularly known as Jandor. Next, we have Tonto Dike. Ahead of the 2023 Rivers State gubernatorial elections, Nollywood actress Tonto Dike has revealed her intentions to run for deputy governor of the state. She had earlier in 2020, during an interview with the Ovation magazine publisher Dele Momodu, announced her intention to go into politics in 2023. Governorship candidate of the African Democratic Congress ADC Rivers State, Tonte Ibraye, on 24th of June, announced Tonto Dike as his running mate for the 2023 governorship elections in the state.
As a matter of fact, your presence irritates me. And let me make it clear to you that I have the documents to which you look for.
Moving on, we have Ini Edo. Ini Edo is an accomplished Nollywood actress, film producer, and director.
And you're not supposed to be here. I'm out there. You're the one giving me this drug that gets you depressed. I am not a depressed person. Leave me alone. Don't listen to me.
She is one of the actresses who has previously held political positions. In 2016, she served as the special assistant to Governor Gabriel Udom Emmanuel, the governor of Akwa Ibom State, on culture and tourism. Her appointment was renewed in 2020 when the state's current governor, Udom Gabriel Emmanuel, was re-elected. Still on this list, we have Kate Henshaw. Veteran Nollywood actress Kate Henshaw, on July 19, 2014, officially launched her campaign website as she sought to represent the Calabar Municipal Odukmani Federal Constituency on the People's Democratic Party platform. Henshaw, however, lost the primary election to retired Honorable Essien Ayi, but was appointed by Cross River State Governor Ben Ayade as Special Advisor Liaison, Lagos, in December 2015. Recently, she recounted how she spent 35 million naira to pursue her ambition to become a member of the House of Representatives and her regrets. And finally, we have Mercy Johnson Okoje.
Iche, this is the money my father borrowed from your hand. Please, do not go near my father's Siroko tree. Do not go near my Iroko tree. Biko,
Popular Nollywood actress Mercy Johnson was appointed as the Senior Special Assistant on Entertainment, Arts and Culture to Governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, in 2017. The actress has stated that she will not enter partisan politics because she believes she has enough influence as a filmmaker and appointee. Interestingly, her husband, Prince Odianosen Okoje, won the APC 2022 House of Representatives Esan North-East South-East Federal Constituency primary election. A popular quote from Charles de Gaulle states that politics is too serious a matter to be left to the politicians. And in Nigeria, with more Nigerian entertainment celebrities in the political space, this quote is true.
Hello, you're welcome to this edition of Timeless Conversations. For me, it's a privilege to be in the presence of my guest. He is an icon in engineering and broadcasting and public service in Nigeria. Pioneer, Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority.
Engineer Vincent Maduka, also named Ifeanyi Chukwu, which means glory to God, was born in the Ekpetado area of Lagos on the 5th of October 1935. He is from Delta State. He attended the Lagos Government School and won a full scholarship to King's College Lagos in 1949. He graduated with a BSc Honours in Electrical Engineering from the University of Leeds, England in 1959, and also received the MENG-SC degree in Applied Acoustics from the University College of Dublin, UCD, Ireland, in 1969. He undertook a graduate apprenticeship with the renowned radio company Marconi Co. Limited in the UK and joined the Western Nigerian Broadcasting Corporation, Ibadan, as a broadcast engineer in 1961. He spent a short time at the Irish National Television Organisation, doubling in 1968 to 1969, and on return to Ibadan in 1969, he was promoted Chief Engineer. He was appointed General Manager, Chief Executive Officer there in 1973.
Welcome to this program, sir, Engineer Vincent Maduka.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for granting us some time of your very busy schedule.
Oh.
I put busy in parentheses. You have had a wonderful career, an illustrious career, premised on your study of engineering. What motivated you to study engineering?
Right. Well, the easiest answer would be that I enjoyed physics, chemistry, and mathematics. All right. But I also enjoyed English literature. It was European history I was taught, which I enjoyed. But more importantly, to answer your question, was that if I undertook engineering at degree level, I would get a scholarship.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. That was one. Two, there was no engineering school in Nigeria that awarded a degree.
At that time.
So I would go abroad to study.
Mm-hmm.
And these were two great attractions. And three, there was a job waiting.
Oh, there was a job waiting once you finished.
Yes. Because in fact, our career master at school went through the government gazette with us because for graduates, the employment was almost clearly going to be in the public service.
Okay.
The private sector at that time couldn't afford to hire university graduates. So some very bright ones, people who went into the private sector, even left at intermediate, taken out of the university, are attracted by good pay and a car. And they left